Hello. I forgot to grab some stuff, so I had to run grab it real quick. But hello, and welcome to Sunday Sermon with the Hometown Hippie. It is 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. That means we are right here live somewhere, usually on Facebook, but we're in the Facebook Pokey, so we will be storing these here in YouTube once we're out of the Pokey, which is about one more Sunday sermon, and then we'll be back. They will be here and in Facebook. So as you jump on here today, do me a favor, say hello, tell us where you're watching from, if that'll ever pop up. I'm going to assume that it will here in a moment. Let's see if I can do it better. Show. And I'll see if that pops up because the internet can be terribly crazy here in my world. And we're also going to drop a grateful fed in the comments. We know that there's a little delay here. We're going to go back over here to this. I did message everybody and let them know that we were live. Let's see how. And I can't share anything, but I did let them all know that we're live now, and they are heading over this way, I'm sure. And it never fails. Everybody shows up. And to be honest, it has been both nice and I kind of miss it. It has been nice not having, I'm not able, I don't know, it's been nice to have like a break from the social media a little bit because everybody's been posting for me. But I've also very much missed seeing everybody because I get on Facebook and I try to scroll and look. Good morning, Elizabeth. Good morning, Heather. And I see something that's going on or something that needs me to send some love out. And I am learning how to hold space without people knowing that I'm holding space, if that makes sense. So a lot of times we do it on Facebook, and that's kind of our acknowledgement, our likes, our comments, all the things. Because I really do go through there and kind of like, I'm sending some love, hands on Reiki on. And I'm really, I've really been enjoying kind of being able to be a undercover love and light sender, if that makes sense. So that's been nice. But I've had so much stuff that I've wanted to share with everybody, and it's been a kind of a bummer or kind of a drag not being able to like go, hey, y'all, guess what's going on? And just pop a little note in there. So for those of you who maybe are new here, hello. My name is Tammy Nelson. I'm the Hometown Hippie. As you can see below, there's a couple of things I'm asking you to do. Say hello, tell us where you're watching from, right? And then drop a grateful fed in the comments. Tell us hello, tag a friend, do something like that. If you are new to YouTube, I am just starting to kind of venture into that genre, I don't know if that's what it's called, that dipping my toe into the YouTube world a little bit more. We are going to, you'll see a lot of videos here saved, a lot of videos that have been here for months and months and months. We do Sunday sermons. They've always kind of been housed here as well. But if you are, maybe you're not getting notifications or the notices that I'm live, do me a favor below this on the video if you're watching on YouTube. It should have like a subscribe button, a bell to let you know when I'm live. You can give it some thumbs up and just subscribe to my channel so you'll see it. I have missed you too. It has been absolutely Toledo, Ohio until tomorrow. Then you're on your road trip. Yes, I'm so excited. Heather will be in town this week, dropping off some things for the apothecary, picking up some things for her to get to Florida. And then she is heading down to Key Largo to go to her. She's a snowbird, so she spends her winters down in the Sunshine State, which is very exciting for her and for us because she's in the dirty South with us. But it has been a little bit hectic around here, and so being able to focus my energies on the things that I need to focus them on, it's been a blessing. This is what today's message is going to be about, I guess, because I said beforehand, I didn't get that big download. I didn't get that big, you got to talk about this, write this down tonight message. This morning I was getting ready, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't do Sunday sermon. Hey, Sheila. I was laying in bed this morning and feeling quite tired, just kind of tired and kind of like, blah. But I can't sleep past 8 o'clock. And I was laying there and I didn't even get my phone out because I just laid there and took some deep breaths. and just waited for something to kind of creep into my brain. Just kind of cleared my brain out and kind of melted into the places in between the breaths, right? Just kind of melting into the places in between breaths. And I found myself last night, um, yesterday actually, starting to grip a little bit, right? Starting to feel that gripping in my stomach about stress. And I have not been stressed or been gripping. And I was kind of like taken aback this morning, right? Anybody else ever been through like your maybe you've gone through something and you kind of settled it and it's all wrapped away in a nice little neat box and it's out of your head, right? You have the situation and it's 100% settled and out of your head and done. Not even something you would think about. And then you're just laying there and this intrusive thought comes in and it like rehashes all of this like old programming or this old wait, can y'all tell me yes you've ever had that like where did that come from? Like why is that on my brain today? Like why am I stressing over that? I have not thought of that or stressed over that or even had to worry about that in so very long. Why is this creeping in today? And anybody else? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. Because that definitely has been happening to me. Um, Things creep back up, and that's why shadow work never ends. It just gets easier. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. Yes, exactly. Right, Heather? So, Heather said, I understand the feeling. Things creep back up on you. That's why shadow work never ends. It just gets easier. And, that's interesting you say that because I I made a decision yesterday morning. Even though I can't comment and do things on Facebook, I have still been doing some little undercover things on Facebook. And I'm not going to go into what I've done because I'm not doing it for the accolades. I'm not. And I don't want them. I just want to do the things that are nice and be done with it. But I was looking around Facebook and we have a couple of little Facebook groups like what's happening in Farmville, Virginia, or here and there and everywhere, like, this Tina moms of this, or blah, blah, blah of that, or blah, blah, blah. And I'm in a lot of these little groups because as a business owner, I kind of peep myself in there. I did it honestly because I was told as a business owner, get yourself involved in networking groups and blah, blah, blah. And I did all those things. And, me, I find community wherever I go, and I created it to kind of, to be in it. So I'm looking around and I'm seeing a lot of people struggling this holiday season. A lot of people. And everything inside of me, the thing we talk about, the power of one, right? The power of one. What do we want to do? We want to be able to go out as one person and just change it, or at least my little empathetic heart does, right? I would love to be able to get up every day and be like, okay, and I do this, but it just sends out love and light. And I encourage you to do this if you get up in the morning and you care and you want to be a part of this power of one movement. Part of my morning affirmations, part of my deep breathing, right, is saying, I am sending love and light out to all of those who need it today, who will accept it today. And I'm learning to say that right. Who will accept it today, who will take this love energy and use it to their highest and best. And if I have the power, I would love to be able to heal the world with my breath, right? Healed. But unfortunately, it takes a little bit more than that. And that is not something that I could do to just magic wand it and just change the world. Like, Leviosa, right? I can't do that. I can't wave my wand or flick my wrist or wiggle my nose or, right? I saw that site yesterday. I need to manifest a lot. I want to help so many. I know your community has my heart and I send daily. And I love that so much. And I send it to the world, right? I send it out to the world. I just happen to see the things around me because, again, um, I feel like source, God, the universe, whatever words you use, right, puts things in your path for a reason. And I believe that it's either to teach you a lesson, so you can be a blessing. There's a reason, right? And it's not always the reason that you think. So not everything that gets put in your path is your responsibility to maybe fix or handle or be able to bless or whatever. Sometimes I get things put in my path and there's a part of me that's like, I could easily stroke a check. I could easily flip my wrist on this, but something is telling me that, I need to hold space and not fix this because there's also things that we call karmic contracts that people have in this world. And some of the people that we see struggling, we are not allowed to fix it, or else we just prolong their suffering because it's karmic lessons that they have to learn. And, we have to be there to do exactly what I just said, which is hold space. And if you're new to this channel or you're new to spiritual or energy work, and you're like, what are you talking about? So holding space just means that you do what I just said, right? You take some deep breaths and then you say, I am going to send out, I'm going to hold a place where in my heart, it's kind of like love and prayers, but it's like Care Bear school, right? I say I'm holding space for you, which means that in my affirmations, in my prayers, in my meditations, I carve out a little bit of time to say whatever it is that I'll use Heather as an example because she knows what I'm talking about. Heather will say, hold space for me. I've got some doctor's appointments, right? And so in my affirmations, what I do for that is I say, I don't need to know the reason. I don't need to know the outcome. I don't need to be able to do anything more than to say, whatever it is, this to my friends, highest and best. I am holding space and sending love and light and holding this place inside of my aura that's a safety space that I am sending heart energy that's carved out for my friend. And that's what I'm able to do. And sometimes that's all I'm able to do, right? Um, and a lot of times that's all that we are being asked to do. And whenever I get into these moments where things are coming back up and they're kind of regurgitating this, it's been a hard lesson for me because I'm a giver, but it was hurting my energy. Yes. So what you have to do is you have to learn what is yours and what is theirs. And a lot of times our knee-jerk reaction is to jump in and help. And Heather and I were working with one of my healing clients whenever she was here. We're not going to name names because it's nobody's business, right? That's some private stuff. And this person came to the shop and it's a gentleman, and he was really struggling. He has some pretty severe PTSD, and he has some pretty severe demons that are, a lot of those are of his own making, right? We all know that. We all have karmic lessons. We all make bad choices. We all do things that we're not so proud of, and then we spend a lot of time beating ourselves up over and trying to get back from. So the knee-jerk reaction when you hear that from somebody is to try to like jump into action, give them the things that they need to kind of help them. And I told Heather, I was like, hold tight, right? I've been working with this person. They have to hear the words before we this person has to create their own solutions. There's nothing that we can say. So what the biggest lesson is for this healing client for me, right? It's Heather. Heather knows who I'm talking about. We're not going to name names at all, but she knows what I'm talking about. She knows the situation very well, right? And I know she can even pick out the situation. Like, hold tight. I was like, let's talk about this, right? Here's the things I'm gonna help you, but we need to teach you how to help yourself because there's nothing that Heather can do. There's no magic wand that I can do. We have tools, and we have the skill set to help, but this is your karmic contract. Love and light to all, right? This is your demon to fight. And the more that your wife, the more that your friends, the more that Heather, the more that the more that anybody else tries to fix it for you, the longer that you're going to stay sick, the longer that you're going to stay needing healing, because it's not for anybody else's to heal, right? It's not for anybody else's to heal, because if we all look and think about it, right? If every single person who's been through some healing, right, who has had something that has damaged or severed you, maybe has had a divorce or a relationship end, or maybe just some self-esteem things and some things that you want to get better from. I did a weight loss journey and quit smoking and stepped up my game and started a business and kind of came through this like awakening. If you've been through an awakening, right, that's kind of what it is when you start putting the pieces together. You know that the responsibility of your healing is 100% yours. And when I was laying there in the bed this morning, trying to have a sermon brought into me this morning, I was like, I'm a good and faithful steward of the messages that you give to me, of the messages that I receive. I'm like, please make me a clear and perfect channel for the message that I'm about to give. And God, for all that's love and holy and mighty, give me a message, right? Give me a message. Give me what I'm supposed to talk about today, because I haven't a clue. and I don't want to waste anybody's time with just rambling. And I started gripping about it, right? I started hearing the voices, right? I started hearing the voices of self doubt. And in that moment, sometimes, right? Sometimes your angels, guides, and helpers, God, the universe, source, again, whatever words that you use, right? Sometimes they send us a lesson or a mess so that we have to find our own message. So this morning, right, just like that healing client, right, I could have said, hey, so and so, here's all I could have, like, we're gonna reiki you up, we're gonna put a little band-aid on this, we're gonna make you feel better, we're gonna blow smoke up your ass and tell you all the things to do. But no, what I said to that person was, it's your responsibility to heal yourself. We are going to give you the tools to do it, but you have to do the hard work. You have to have accountability. You have to understand what you're doing. You have to start taking the steps to journal and ground and, understanding like that is a trigger for me. So versus me repeating those same patterns, I'm going to have to do the work to do better. And I'm hoping that this person is. And we are holding space for that person, and we are saying in our holding space for that healing client was that for this person to heal, they've got to do the work. We can give them the tools, and we can give them the safe haven to allow them to know that they are doing the work and giving them encouraging words, and we can be kind to them, but we cannot do that for them. And when I was laying there this morning and all these thoughts started coming in, the message came in clear, right? God was letting me know, Source was letting me know, right? I'm going to give you um, the pieces and parts, but putting that message together today, Tammy, is going to be your responsibility. I'm going to give you like the prompt, the journal prompt, right? I got the gripping in my stomach. All these people that I was thinking of, all the people who um, I wanted to step in and just wave the magic wand. That's what started gripping in. Money, which was my big awakening, that was my big gripping thing, started creeping in. Because yesterday I looked through Facebook and I started picking people to bless for the holidays. And I made a pretty big purchase yesterday for a family. I'm not going to go into it at all. That's all I'm going to say is that I had the ability to help someone out, and I'm doing it. And I didn't ask anybody's permission. But after I did it, because we're doing a lot of other things with the money, right? And money is just a thing. It's paper. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It comes to us easily. It flows to us in expected and unexpected ways. And I was gripping over that. And I took some deep breaths and I was like, I'm gonna put this out of my head. I don't chase money. I don't stress over money. Why is this coming back up? This was my thing that was coming back up. You got to do this. What about this? Oh my gosh, doing the math? And it's stop it. I have not subtracted and added in a hot minute. And I mean that in that, how much am I going to have left? But I've not done that. What's in the bank math and so very long. And my bank account is like the never ending gobstopper. When I don't worry about money, money does not worry about me, and it's just there, and it's what it is. And I'm not saying that in like a, I'm not saying I have millions of dollars in the bank. I do not think that. What I'm saying is that my needs are met. If I need something, I go get it, and I'm not saying that I go buy boats and mansions and Rolexes because y'all know I'm not doing that. But what I'm saying is there's no reason to worry about the bills being paid. The bills are paid, right? And so when I had that message in my head, I realized what today's message was. And God may not have given me the words verbatim, but He gave me the ability to create the message. And being a clear and perfect channel is what I got today, is talking to each and every single one of you listening to me today and letting you know, right? That sometimes when we ask for the help, we're like, my angels, my guides, my helpers are not communicating. They're not here for me. Why are they not answering me? I want you, if you are one of those people, right? Have you ever said that? Yes or no? Have you ever said like, God, I've been asking you for a sign. Holy crap, I've been asking you for the answer to this, and I don't feel like you've been giving it to me. Has anybody else ever been like really like just fretted with it? I think that dependence, I'm going to pull this up, on monetary things is so deeply programmed in us that it's one of the hardest parts of ego to overcome. And I'm going to say that that's true. And it's also because that is how we have been programmed. That is a, That is a whole other topic for a whole other day, right? So I'm going to tell you a little story. I probably used this analogy before, right? I probably used this analogy before, and it's probably been a while. But if you're new here, stick with me, as most of you all will tell you in the comments. And do me a favor, it's so much more fun when people are commenting. If you are watching this today, drop me a hashtag Grateful Fed in the comments. It costs nothing to support me by doing these couple of things. Number one, say hello and tell me where you're watching from. There's 5 of you watching. I've not talked to 5 people yet. There's 5 of you watching, so say hello and tell us where you're watching from. Good toilet paper, a must. LOL. And then do me a favor and drop a Grateful Fed in the comments. So, let's talk about this story I'm going to tell y'all. So, there was this big giant flood, and there was this guy in this house, and as the flood was coming, the state police showed up, and they was like, "Hey, sir, we're going to need you to evacuate your home because there's a flood coming, and we don't want you to get trapped in your house." And the guy said to the guy, "Nope, I'm good. My God will take care of me. I am fine. I'm not leaving my house." So the floodwaters started coming, and they started getting up, and the guy was stuck on his in his second level of his house, looking out the window, yelling, "Please, God, send help. I need you to come on, God. I need you to do something for me here." And a boat comes puttering along, and there is a rescue guy in the boat. He says, "All right, I'm here to save you. Come on, get in the boat." He goes, "Nope, my God is coming. My God is going to save me. I don't need you. You're man. Go away. I'm safe. God will save me." Right? The floodwaters continued to come to where it put the man on the roof of his house. He's staying on the roof of his house, and a helicopter comes and tries to rescue him. And he tells the helicopter, he's like, "No, God will save me." And he sends the helicopter away. Well, the flood keeps coming, and the man drowns and dies. And he goes to heaven, and he gets to the pearly gates, and he's just pissed off. He's just pissed off at God. He goes at the pearly gates, and he tells St. Peter, "What in the hell? I knew God was going to save me, and here I am dead in this flood." And St. Peter's like, "Hold on a second." And God comes to the gate, and he's like, "I hear you complaining about me not coming to save you in the flood." And he's like, "Yeah." He says, "Well," he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He says, "I sent you the guy to tell you to leave your fucking house because it was flooding. You didn't listen. Then I sent a boat to come rescue you. You didn't want to get in that. Then I send a helicopter and you don't get in that. So I don't know which more I can do." So what I'm telling you is this, right? Sometimes God is not going to come down with his hand or source or, your angels, guides, and helpers. They are not going to come down with their hand and pluck you out of the problem. It's not going to be the voice of God that goes, "Hello, Sheila, the toilet paper is in the bathroom." It's not going to be that, right? God gives you the tools. God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes in that story not even so mysterious, right? But we expect it to look like we expect it to look. And today, when I was laying in there asking God, asking source, asking my angels, guides, and helpers, who are, again, whatever word you use for this message, and then they sent me the names, the faces, they sent me the gripping on some things that I couldn't, and it was like, it's my responsibility. I sent you the message. Now create the message from what I gave you. And a lot of us every day, we tend to overlook our blessings, right? That's why we have free will. We need to make a decisions and move, right? Exactly. Now, and so that was my message today, right? It was talking about the fact that we have to be able to see our blessings in different ways. We have to see how source, and a lot of us, and especially this time of year, and a lot of the things that we're seeing online is people saying, "Woe is me, why this?" There's been a lot of in my area, a lot of accidents, a lot of people that just don't get to go home at the end of the day. There's been a lot of suicide in my area, which is making me very sad. These young men with these young families, feeling there's no other way out, and that breaks my heart. There's been a lot of sadness and sickness and illness and inflation and monetary woes. And right now, there are a lot of people who are just struggling, who are just struggling in this world. And that's what came through in my gut today. That's the thing, and I was stressing over that. And when God said to me, I work in mysterious ways, I'm giving you the message. I'm giving you the message. Now it's your responsibility to deliver the message. And trusting and having faith and getting up and being consistent and putting one foot in front of the other and doing the harder thing. Y'all know I'm off Facebook. I wasn't sure exactly what this message was going to be today. I was laying in bed going, all I have to do is send a comment, send a thing to my brain ambassadors because the internet's wonky all the time, and say, we had a storm yesterday, no good internet, I'm not going live. And nobody would have been mad. Everybody would have disappointed, no Sunday sermon. But Sunday sermon got cut short last week. And what I said today was, I'm like, I was being guided to get up and get showered and put. I even have a bra on. Like I've showered, made my own coffee, right? Made my own coffee, and I said, if I'm not supposed to do this, the internet won't work. If I'm not supposed to do this, this won't happen. It's the first time in months that I've been exactly at 10 o'clock going live. I also was told to cut off the internet on everything else in my house so I wouldn't mess up the internet for this. And I did that, and look how good the service has been today. No issues, right? So my message is this, right? My message is that today, and like every day, when you see all of the heartache in the world, right? It is not always our responsibility to jump into action, to go into maybe a physical or a fixing it or into that mode. And when I talk about the power of one, when I say every day that we can't go out and change the entire world as one person, but every single day as one person, we have the ability to go out and change the world for another person, even if that person is ourselves some days, because that's the important part, right? I talk about not pouring from an empty cup because we can't. You have to pour from your saucer. And so the message today is this, right? It's about shoring up your energy. It is about filling up your cup. And in some days, you can hold space for other people and you can send out love and light. But when it gets down to the brass tacks, right? Sometimes we have to button up our coat, put on our scarf and our gloves and keep ourselves warm because we can't do anything for the world if we're not ready for the elements, right? I just said that today because it's really chilly outside. I got to bundle up one day at a time with grace and ease, right? With gentleness, ease, and grace. Hello, Lisa. How are you today? So that's what I'm saying, right? We have to learn. We have to learn to button up our energy to be able to help other people with theirs. And sometimes our only, when I say the power of one, and some days the only person you can help is yourself, I promise you, not one person who has come to me and said that I inspire them or that I have no idea. This is what my team said. You have no idea the people that you inspire, and I'm like, I do not, because honestly, what I only thing that I can do is I can be the best version of myself every day that I'm able to be. My favorite version of myself, right? Every day that I get up, the only thing that I can 100% control, the only thing that I can control is myself, my actions, my words, my energy. Those are the things that I have any kind of control over. How you respond, how your energy is, I have zero ability to control that. But what I do is I say that I'm going to influence the world and influence people's energy, and I am not going to allow it to damper mine. I'm not going to allow your bad energy to interfere with my good energy. And when I saw all the faces that popped through my head today, when I saw all the people that I knew what the message was about, right? It's about, learning to help yourself. And a lot of times the people that are the most hard-headed that you want to help, the people who are the ones who tell you they want your help and they tell you they want this, they are. Things I put behind me are in my throat. That's interesting, Lisa. I don't know how long you've been on here this morning. We're talking about that, right? We're talking about the fact that things are coming back up for us, right? Things are coming back up in our energy, and maybe we haven't completely worked through that shadow work yet. So you're speaking your truth, right? Things in your throat. Um, Heather says, I was asked this week, why do I do all the things to help everyone and not build my own empire? And I was like, an epiphany. This is my love language, and I'm spreading my legacy through others. You're spreading your legacy through you because we give you complete, full credit and autonomy. Um, you are a giver, but I always tell you as well that you need to. And Heather is good about this. Like Heather and I both believe. Can you see our comments? I can. Yes, I can see your comments. I can see your comments. I can see everybody's comments. Yep. Yes, ma'am. I can. Y'all cannot see your comments, maybe, but I can see your comments. Sorry, I got distracted. Give me a second. I also ate a brookie last night, and I may have had a little bite of a turtle brownie too because I'm a greedy bitch and they're delicious. And for some reason, when I eat those cookies, my eyes closed. I'm going to say this. Heather and I have learned that we only gift of ourselves or give of ourselves that which we can give. A lot of people ask, like, how do you do that? Don't you give too much? That's probably a lot of it, Heather, is they're thinking you're giving too much. Because what it is you're giving more than they have the capacity to give. So it stresses them out. Because my sister gets stressed over my giving. My husband gets stressed over my giving. And they say that to me all of the time about, and my dad will say, like, how are you ever gonna be, achieve wealth if you're always giving it away? And I was like, Dad, whatever I give comes back to me tenfold, and that's what they have to understand. So I'm teaching my children and grandchildren there can be fulfillment in act of just being. And there should be fulfillment in the act of just being. And you don't have to give. And you don't have to give what you don't have to others. And some of us today, and that's probably the big message and the big takeaway today, and that's kind of what I'm trying to say. And Heather kind of helped me put the rug that ties the room together down. What you should give of yourself is love and light. What you should give of yourself is only what you are able to give. Some people right now are not in a place to pour into others because their cup is not full. You cannot pour from an empty cup, is what I'm saying, because you legitimately cannot do it. It is physically impossible. If this cup right now is empty and I wanted to pour you some coffee, if this cup has no coffee in it, how do I pour coffee into you? I cannot do it. It's impossible to do. It's physically impossible to do. It is energetically impossible to do. So today, when I was seeing feeling all the gripping, there were some things. Okay, if I'm gripping over money, what I know that means to me is that I might not, I looked at it today, right? And I thought about, okay, if I'm gripping and thinking about money, what does that mean to me? That means that universe is telling me to be more cognizant of where I spend and what I put money on. Some things it's not about giving money to, it's about giving time, energy, and talent to, right? So I learned that lesson that way. So that's my thing. It's like the universe saying right now, you're not stressed over money. But what reason I gave you that twing, because it took me a second to work through it, my twing on that money thing, right? The thing that I started counting this, I was like, what that says to me is that don't just give the card out, right? Look at the price on stuff for a minute. That's what I have to do. It's saying, like, don't just throw money at stuff. You don't have money. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Every time a money twing has hit my belly, every time that I've been like doing the math, it's been so long since I've done the math on things. It's just been like, I got it. Don't worry about it. But when that happens, I always know that abundance is coming, and that it is a chance. It's an abundance growth thing. So the last 2 times this has happened, it has been like there's going to be an abundance of this, and you need to be more cognizant of it so that you're able to handle and move it around and put it where it needs to go. And this week I have an accountant meeting on Monday. I have a bank meeting this week, and I had my financial planner meeting on Friday. I always give a hug and love, and I'm not a hugger. LOL. I did not know you were not a hugger, Sheila. Good to know. No wonder you're like, all right, I'm good. That's exactly. So what that was, right, was a little gentle reminder to me not to be so willy-nilly with it. When I saw all the people pop through, right, all the people pop through, it's letting me know there's going to be people who are energy vampires. And not that those people are energy vampires, but there were people who dropped in who were. And I'm not saying that they do it in an energy vampire way, but they do it in a way in which I care so deeply that I allow it. I'm not even an energy vampire, right? It's like an event, energy Red Cross, because they're not sucking my blood. I am freely giving of it, right? I'm freely giving of it. So it's not like they are coming and taking without my permission. It's like the Red Cross. It's a drive. It's an energy blood drive, right? I'm sitting there freely giving it. But I have to learn, right? And that's what the lesson was. Like, this is the time of year that I just have to put up some energy protections. And that's what the message was. And what the message was for each and every one of you today, right, was this. Take some deep breaths in this world of turmoil. If you're gripping or feeling some kind of way about something, I want you to be cognizant of it. Take notice, because you get those twings in your body, and not all the time is it something that you need to be afraid of, or like feel like you, because a lot of us, we do that. If we go through this healing journey, we're like, why is this coming back up again? I know some of y'all said that happens, right? But it is more about being cognizant of it, being aware of it. I can recognize it, and then I can move past it. I can recognize it, and I can send some love and light energy to it. But I also know that it's the universe telling me, pay attention, pay attention, pay attention. This is going to be something that you're going to need to recognize, because there's a lesson coming. There's a lesson coming. And I tell people, right? Sometimes our blocks are our blessings, and sometimes things get thrown up in our way for a reason. And these little moments of ego gripping in, or gripping clicking in, or places where you feel your energy off, those are always little signs and symptoms for us to be aware of the places that we need to shore up our energy. So in this day and age, with the holiday season approaching, with the world being like it is, 7.7% inflation, people's money being tight, their energy being tight, family, what did she get in? What is it? Oh, exciting! Send her a picture and see if she'll let us open it. Juliana's first choice college big packet just came in the mail. So we're hoping that it's good news. We're hoping that it's good news. With all these things creeping in during this time of year, the message is for each and every single one of you to be mindful and be steadfast in your energy practices, right? Make sure you're putting your caramels in your coffee. Which, speaking of caramels, day 4 Advent is a caramel. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. These little bad boys are the perfect thing. This is why these were picked on Sunday. These were picked on Sunday because it's the perfect day to pop one in your coffee, watch Sunday sermon, have a really beautiful day, kind of microdosing all day. You're able to get all the laundry done, get all the food prep for the week, get the house cleaned back up, do all the things. Yeah, big envelopes usually signify big news. I'm hoping that it's good news. She's amazing, and we're gonna all hold space that Juliana gets. We did a card reading her now the other night for her college. And what we said was is that I told her the way to maneuver this whole process was to hold space, that whatever school that she got into, whichever school she decided, we were gonna say that whatever school that she goes to is going to suit her highest and best for her emotional growth, her knowledge growth, as far as her educational growth, as well as her spiritual growth, as far as finding out and meeting all the friends and all the people who are supposed to be, these are college friends, are your people for life, and to her highest and best. And we, so be it and so it is, and we locked it in with some stuff. So she's pretty excited to see these, and that's interesting that came in that quick. So we will see. Um, Super excited for that, though. That got me all off pet track, but that's what today is about, right? It's about telling you, stop pouring if you don't have a full cup. Stop pouring from your cup and start pouring from your saucer. It's congratulations. We will see in momento what that's all about. We're really crossing fingers and eyes and toes and legs and everything. So Speaking of managing your energy and shoring up what it is you need to protect you, because here's the thing, right? We talk about the whole not pouring from an empty cup on a regular basis. And I want you to think of it, even on an airplane, if the plane is crashing, right? The airline says when the oxygen masks drop, secure your oxygen mask before helping your neighbor. Because if you can't breathe, you can't help anybody else breathe, right? Elizabeth says my caramel lasted through 3 cups of coffee, kind of like a Tootsie Roll Pop. I ate the remaining caramel after I drank the 3rd cup. I love that so very much. Can y'all believe that yesterday I posted yesterday was the 420 cookie. Yesterday was the 420 cookie. And I posted a video and it got removed for community standards because it had the word 420 in it. So to reshoot it and do 420 in different lines, because if you put 420 in something on TikTok, it automatically bans it as a community standard violation, just the 420. So heaven forbid if your birthday is on April 20th, because they'll just ban you. So I'm gonna have to put like a 4/20 is what I'm gonna have to do on all the things on TikTok for the 420 cookies from now on. But regardless, y'all, we're gonna get into our weekly crystal card affirmation. So what I'm gonna encourage you to do this week is I'm gonna encourage you to be mindful in getting your feet in the dirt. Be mindful and getting your journaling done. I'm gonna have I have a feeling that whatever our crystal card affirmation journal prompts are this week, they're going to be important for us, right? They're going to be important for us as a community. We also, I'm going to be taking this week, every night this week, Monday through Thursday, is Dragonfly Alchemy Mystery School's Holiday Energy Management Series. So if you've not already signed up, make sure you do that. If you need any details about it, let me know. I'll help you get in there. $22 a day. Or there is a set amount for, these are not the ones that jumped out, I don't think. These are just ones that jumped out. So we're going to go ahead and do a shuffle. Now, for those of you that are new here, what we're going to do is we're going to pull a collective card for the week, which is our crystal affirmation card. It's going to give us a message for the week to kind of pull it all together. It's also going to give you some journal prompts and some weekly affirmations. If you are watching this, you're like, what does this have to do with Hometown Hippie? I'm over here in the Facebook group. They said there was a live going on YouTube. I came over and watched it, and I'm not sure what this has to do with caramels and 420 cookies. Why is this here? So we believe here we are. I'm back. Phew, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. It's interesting. Amy, did you get on the internet? Y'all, okay. If you could just give me like 5 seconds. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Just give us 2 seconds, y'all. If anybody else gets on the internet here, it kicks me off. So I had taken all the internet stuff off, and that's why we had good service all morning. And Juliana's here. Did you get into school? It's just marketing paperwork. So she was checking the internet. So we're going to do a little shuffle here. But what we do is take 3 deep breaths, right? We're going to center our energy, and we're going to pull in a crystal card. And I got kind of all wonky when that internet went off for me. So we're going to pull our angels, guides, and helpers in, and all that are there to assist us, our spirit team, our animal tokens, our ancestors, everybody that is here, our whole spirit team. And we're going to ask for the perfect card for the collective for this week, right? So take another deep breath in. Inhale the good shit. Exhale the bullshit. One more time. Inhale the good stuff. Exhale the bad stuff, right? Inhale the grateful. Exhale the hateful. That's what I'm talking about. Inhale the grateful. Exhale the grateful. Or the thankful. The hateful. Blah, blah, blah. My words don't want to work. We're at 444. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's our card today. And our crystal card is pyrite. So that is interesting. Let the money flow in. Tell me that the universe like Tammy, stop stressing over money because it does not matter. It is a fictional thing. And it's interesting because the last thing I was going to talk about today, which is I'm going to talk about this card, but if you are local to me, if you are in the Farmville area, Friday night, this Friday and next Friday, I'm going to be doing our little sneak peek into our home style dinners. Jug, get me back. Can y'all tell me you found me? We are going to be um, doing our first family style meals, right? Because we are going to use the profits from that to do Christmas blessings for people. So I am doing courts this Friday night. You have to pre-order by noon on Thursday, but we are doing quarts of chicken and dumplings for $15 on Friday night. You can pick them up between 3 and 6. They will be ready. And all of the profits from that are going to be used to bless people this Christmas season. I'm going to be buying some Christmas gifts for families and surprising them. I'm going to be buying meals for people. I'm going to be putting heat in people's houses, stoves in people's houses. I am going to, we as a community, not me, I'm going to be the one that physically goes out and does it all, or maybe, unless one of y'all want to help me out with it. But the money used from that is going to be used to do Christmas blessings. And that's why I started doing the math. And so it's interesting because that was the last thing we were talking about today was our family style meals. We're going to do 32-ounce jugs of homemade chicken and dumplings this week. And then next Friday night, the 16th, we're going to do a prime rib dinner. It's going to be prime rib, grilled broccoli, our vegetable blend, and a twice baked potato. And that's going to be $25 for that meal. And this week's going to be, it's going to have a roll with it. And then I'm also going to, these are also going to be all safe. So everybody and need to hear that. It's going to be safe for everybody to eat in your family. So this is all undosed. This is Grateful Fed Catering Company, like pre-order, like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing. We have a food truck coming. Here's what we do that are also that's also safe. And I'm going to be offering some. So $15 for your quart of chicken and dumplings, homemade, fresh, all the things. And then it's going to, yes. And then we're going to do, you can add on some undosed desserts as well. And there's going to be some $5 grab bags you can pick up when you pick up your stuff. We're going to have all that done Friday night. Next Friday night is going to be our prime rib dinner. Then next Saturday is going to be our holiday open house. Not that, like the 17th is going to be our holiday open house with a free like dosed dinner kind of reception. And then that will be the membership drop for the Grateful Fed Club. And then we'll have Christmas and our holiday party is the 23rd. So we have lots of fun stuff coming up the next 3 Friday and Saturday nights. But that's just actually let the money flow in. So let's go ahead and read Pyrite and see what our message is for this week. Pyrite, a financial breakthrough is on its way. You have the power to create the wealth you desire. Put in the time and energy needed to pursue your financial goals. Hard work pays off. Be a money magnet and call prosperity into your life in all its forms. Money and fortune don't always appear in the way you would expect, just like the messages don't always appear in the way that you would expect, right? So keep your eyes open for all the financial opportunities that present themselves to you. You are on the right track. Keep working, keep moving, keep going, and you will reap the rewards. So I guess a lot more of us are thinking about that today than I really knew about. So let's talk about this. Core questions. What are your financial goals? And it's interesting because I picked up the journal today to look at something, and it says, how do you define happiness? Because if you can't define what your happily ever after looks like, how do you start working towards it? So it's interesting. It's the same thing with money, right? If you don't know what your financial goals are, if you don't know where you are in a financial standpoint, you can't dig yourself out and you can't make a plan to go forward. A lot of times we do not want to do that because we don't want to think about where we're at. We don't want to know. And I'm going to tell y'all, whenever I was like getting ready to go bankrupt for like the 3rd time, because it's happened, I lose it all and make it all back. I have no problem making money. I have a lot of problem keeping it. That's what I tell people all the time. I can make money all day long, but keeping that shit, that's a problem. But if you don't know what you're doing, we don't want to look at it. But I'm going to tell you, when you start looking at it and really putting it on paper and not avoiding it, most of the time it's a lot less than what we think it is. We have this way to make things seem way bigger than they are. So many of you refuse to journal. And when I talk about my healing clients and the people that came through my brain, some of y'all are on here, right? And y'all don't want to listen. I give you all the advice in the world, right? And that's what I'm saying. I can't fix it. I can lead by example. I can give you my overflow. But until you decide to do the work yourself, you're never going to change your circumstance. And that is not my problem. That is your problem, right? And so letting go of that and releasing that. But this message today is for every single one of you. It is about putting it on paper, defining what it is, doing the work, understanding that sometimes all you can do is hold space and send love and light. And all of the people who are big hearted givers have to learn, right? To hold space, to send love and light, to live by example, and that then therefore lead by example, because when you lead by example, people can see you and they know that it's possible because they're watching you do it, right? Journaling makes it real and tangible so you can work with it. Exactly. I use the analogy. Have you ever tried to put together a 1,000 piece puzzle? And people are like, yeah, I have. I've done puzzles before. I like to puzzle. I'm like, okay, try putting that puzzle together without taking it out of the box. You can't do it. You need to spread it all out, look at it, find the corners, find your end pieces. That is what it's like trying to solve problems or work through your life with all of it in your head. You've got to get it on paper. You've got to make it tangible. You've got to make it real so you can work through it. That's just the God's honest truth, right? Failure to follow instructions right here. It's not about following instructions. It's about this is what the truth of the matter is, and this is how I feel about it. It is about being truly ready to heal yourself. It has nothing to do about following instructions. It has everything to do about believing that you are worth it. Because I'm going to tell you the God's honest truth. When you are ready and you believe, when you decide, and I'm not saying this like telling me I'm ready, Tammy. I want to do this, Tammy. I mean, when you look yourself in the mirror, or when you're driving in your car, when you're sitting on your couch and there's nobody the fuck else around you, and you will scream a Captain Dan moment. That's what I call it. My Captain Dan moments. A Lieutenant Dan, not Captain Dan. I guess he's a lieutenant. He's a lieutenant. You Lieutenant Dan moment, right? When you have your Lieutenant Dan, none of the shit that I'm going to say, none of the stuff Heather tells you, none of the stuff that you see from My Mystical Life or Dragonfly or the million and one other light workers that are out here telling you to journal and to get your feet in the dirt and all of that, right? Until you stand on that fucking mast in that boat with the electricity coming around you, and you're like, bring it on, I'm ready for it. Until you are ready to come out of your storm, until you are ready to come out of your mess with the message, nothing anybody says is going to change what you do. Until you can look up there and say, I'm ready, God. I want this. I deserve it. I'm ready to heal. I'm done feeling like shit. And I will do anything. Because here's the thing, expecting a different result and doing like telling me, yes, I'm going to journal, Tammy. Yes, I'm going to get my feet in the dirt, Tammy. And going home and laying on your couch and watching Jerry Springer eating a cookie, right? Or taking a nap because you're tired, don't feel like it. I don't want to talk about it right now, right? I don't tell you I don't talk about it right now. I'm like, okay, you don't have to. You do not have to. But don't come to me with your bullshit if you don't want to do anything about it. I'm like, I'll hold space for you all day long. But don't think that I don't know. Because until you do the work, it don't matter. And that's okay. I'm gonna keep spreading the message. I'm gonna keep doing me. Don't have to apologize to me. So many of you, I'm like, stop it. There's nothing. There's absolutely zero, nothing, not a zilch that anybody that has come to me with energy asking me about how to help them heal, that if you don't do it or not, you do not owe me an apology. You owe yourself an apology. I've done the work. I'm good. I am good. I am home, right? I get my feet in the dirt. I journal. I take care of my energy. I can't control yours. I want to help, and I give of you what I'm able to. But you don't owe me an apology. You ain't let me down. You didn't disappoint me because I don't live in your world. I don't live in your body. I don't live in your house. I don't live in your life. The only person that you are disappointing is yourself. So every time you look at me and say, I'm sorry I didn't do it, I'm like, don't apologize to me. Go look in the mirror and apologize to yourself. because you are letting that person down. You are letting the person that I love down. I love you. I love every piece and part of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. You ain't letting me down. I love you anyhow, but you got to love yourself. So the person that you're being mean to is not me, it's yourself. And think about it that way. Think about every time you apologize to somebody for something you feel like doing my body there. I didn't make the best financial choices or the best this choice, the best that choice. It did not affect me. Not one iota did it affect me. But damn if it didn't affect you, right? And I love you. So the only reason it affects me is because I love you and I don't want to see you go down that path, but I can't control it and I can't fix it. And I'm okay with that. Right? But until you can see the possibilities, Elizabeth, but I want you to start seeing those possibilities in you. Because all it is every day you get up and you decide to do your best and being accepting of your best. And here's the thing, when I tell y'all I get up every day and I do my best, and some days my best ain't shit. Some days my best is a moody, grouchy, uh, McDonald's eating slob. Some days that is the best I got for y'all. Some days the best y'all see, I don't put the best I got is not wearing a bra. Some days the best I got is not brushing my hair. But I have to love that best as much as I love the days that I get up and crush the world. I have to accept both equally and be as proud of both days. And when I can get up like, well, did you do this? I'm like, no. And like, Red's like, well, that's okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if you are. Because what are you mad at me about? You wanted to get the laundry done, then you should have done the damn laundry. I didn't, it wasn't my problem. Like, I don't need that anymore, right? And I'm asking each of you to get to a place, and it's not easy. And it takes time. You can do it. But don't apologize to anybody else for you not being healed. If you are still living in your dark night of the soul, if you are still somebody who is making excuses, I'm okay. Don't apologize to me. Right? But if you're apologizing to anybody about it, it means that your highest self is screaming to be healed. So just get up tomorrow and start fresh and do the work. Just get up the next day and do the work. And it's never too late to start right this day. You can start right in this moment. When I decided to lose 100, I started on a Wednesday night. On a Wednesday night, I went to the bathroom. I saw myself. I was like, I'm done. I could have said, well, it's Wednesday. I'm going to give myself till Monday so I can go like binge eat everything I want to eat, get myself ready for my diet. I'm going to go buy all the things that I need. In that moment, I said, there's no more excuses. I woke up the next morning with not anything even to prep. I'm like, I will be fine. I can go get a burger and no bun, but I'm done. In this moment, I am ready to make a difference. And when you have your Lieutenant Dan moment, when you get on that mask and you're like, what else you got? Right? When you are at that place, trust me, if you commit and you commit to the process, detach from the outcome, your life will be forever different. But it is not mine to do. It is not Heather's to do. It is not Sheila's to do. It is yours. Now, it is yours and yours alone. And that's the one thing you can take to the bank every day, that is yours. Your healing, your energy, that is yours. That is your sole responsibility. All right, let me finish I'm on a rant today, right? What is your definition of success, right? Because another thing, you have to be able to define what it is that looks like for you. If you had all the money that you could ever want, what would you do with it, right? My hardest lesson in life is patience. Um, it's learning to take a breath and understanding that it all happens in divine time and that time is just an illusion. Your crystal affirmation today: financial prosperity surrounds me. Today, keep working towards your goals, knowing your efforts will pay off. So that is our crystal card today, which I thought was interesting. I think that was a lot for me too. Let that financial money flow in. Let the abundance flow. Let's call it abundance, because it's not always about dollars and cents, right? Let the abundance flow into your life. Allow the things that are blessing you to come into your life. And a lot of you are holding on to the story of what broke you. A lot of you are holding on to the reasons why you're not able to lose the weight. A lot of you are holding on to the pain in your body that is hurting you throughout. A lot of you are holding on to all of that past stuff. And I'm going to tell you this, that as long as you hold on to all of those things, as long as you grip on to all of the things that make you miserable and you believe that that's all that fills you up, that is all the room you have in your life. That is all the room you have in you. Get rid of it. Release it. Say, I thank you for this lesson. I don't need you anymore. And I'm sending you back to the universe to be transmuted through the fire of the core, to be sent back to the world, to be someone's highest and best. Push it down and bring it back around to you as abundance. But you have to make room for your growth. You have to get rid of those things that are holding you back. You have to release that. Not even release it, let it go. Get rid of it. If you want financial abundance, let go of that broke mindset. For me this morning, I was like, why am I stressing over money? Then I started when I did that, I'm like, money flows to me in both expected and unexpected ways. I was like, holy shit, I've got money that's still on the table that's owed to me. I've got deposits going in. All is well, all is in divine time, right? So I love each and every one of you. We're at an hour. I'm close to an hour. I'm trying to stay strictly on an hour. I'm going to be 101, maybe 102. But that is today's message, y'all. Stay frosty, right? No, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Give yourself a chance to love yourself as much as you don't like, as much as you loathe yourself. So many of us are fine at telling ourselves all the things that are wrong with us. Start talking nice to yourself. Start allowing the love to flow in. Start allowing the abundance to flow in. Start allowing yourself to realize that you deserve it. Because that's the whole thing, right? I was going to do the decide, deserve, define, all the things, and it kind of came up that way today. But I want you to decide in this moment today, and I want to know in the comments if you decide. And I don't. If you don't decide, if you're not sure, if you're like I want to, but I'm not sure, if you're not at your Lieutenant Dan moment, then don't answer this question. But if you know in your heart that you deserve abundance, I want you to affirm I deserve it in the comments for me today before I go. And I'm going to get off of here today because I deserve it and you deserve it. And I deserve to get some of this stuff done and get some things taken care of. Lots of things happening. I'm going to be sending some graphics out today for my brand ambassador team to post for me. I appreciate everyone who has kept up with it. Heather, I cannot wait to hug your neck this week. Heather will be here tomorrow evening late. And then Tuesday, if you want to come see her at the shop, come Tuesday morning. Maybe I'll make some breakfast Tuesday morning if anyone wants to come have a breakfast with Heather. We have got, so the store is coming together. Go check out Red's stories. Go like it. Go vote in his polls. I deserve abundance. I deserve abundance. I love that so very much. And on that note, I'm going to get off here today, y'all, and go out and deserve some abundance for myself and go do some things, get some Christmas decorations for the shop, things like that. But on that note, we're going to end this live as usual at 102, right? With peace, love, and feast. And as always, y'all, stay elevated. I love you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed day. I will see you all very soon. Deuces.